Hi, I'm Marc Baron. My family comes from Vienna. My mother was born and raised there, and growing up we had all these wonderful Viennese dishes in our home, and one that I always remember was a simple cheese spread called Liptauer. We could eat it on bread, at breakfast, during lunch, as a snack. It could be on crackers. It could be used on a crudité. You could make a little thicker or a little thinner depending how you wanted to use it. I'd often make it and bring it to parties for friends, and they've always asked me what was in it, how do I make it. So I decided a little video to show you how to make Liptauer. The basis of Liptauer is a simple, mild, soft cheese. It could be cream cheese, cottage cheese, or what some people call pot cheese. It could be made from a goat milk cheese. It could be made with ricotta. Traditionally, it's made with a cheese called Brimsen, which is a sheep's cheese. But for the recipes here today, I'm going to make two versions, one using cottage cheese and one using farmer's cheese. And I'll also do a few variations, the basic recipe and then one just a little bit more vibrant. Here are your basic ingredients for Liptauer. Our first version will do the cottage cheese. We have sweet Hungarian paprika. We'll use approximately 1 tablespoon. We have sweet butter. Bring it up to room temperature so it'll mix easier. Capers. A good brown mustard. It could be Dijon, it could be a coarse grain, but not the yellow mustard. Fresh caraway seeds. Onion and garlic. When using cottage cheese, what I like to do is place it in a fine strainer in a bowl in the refrigerator overnight. It'll release some of the excess liquid, make the cheese a little denser, improve the texture of the Liptauer. Next, I like to take a small flat spatula, push the cottage cheese through the fine strainer to even make the curd smaller and smoother. There. That'll be fine. I'll finally chop half of a small onion and 1 small clove of garlic. If you prefer to have a finer texture, you can grate both of these. We take our caraway seeds, we place some in a mortar and pestle. We're going to break these down. It'll bring out the flavor in them and make it so that one of your guests don't find seeds in their teeth. If you don't have a mortar and pestle, you can use a spice grinder or a coffee grinder. Break the seeds up. Next, we'll take some of the capers and we'll finally chop and smash them down as well. Bring out more of the flavor. I happen to like capers, so I'm going to use a larger amount. And again, it's about a good teaspoon. So we just chop them up nice and fine. And now we're ready to simply combine our ingredients. I simply like to use a fork to do the mixing. First, we'll add in our chopped onion and garlic. Don't want to miss any. All that goodness. And everybody goes into the pool. Next, our good tablespoon worth of sweet Hungarian paprika. We have our chopped capers. We have our crushed caraway seed. Use a good teaspoon of our mustard. And several pats of the softened butter. And now all you have to do is mix. Thoroughly mix, combine. For our second variation of Liptauer, we've made a few changes. In this case, we're using 8 ounces of farmer cheese and 2 additional ingredients: finely chopped pickles and freshly grated horseradish. If you don't have the fresh, you certainly can use those that come in the jar. Here we have the farmer's cheese. I've already added in the crushed caraway, the brown mustard, the chopped capers, the onion, garlic, the cheese, and then we have, of course, our paprika. Now, one item I specifically laid out is anchovy. Some people like to take one mashed anchovy and add it into the mix, or some people use the anchovy paste. I don't particularly like the anchovy, so I have omitted it. And I should point out that as you develop and learn this recipe, you can adjust the amounts of the items you add to your own taste, making it a stronger, more flavorful, or make it more mild. So now we add the butter, again warm to room temperature. And here I'm going to add the new ingredients, some finely chopped pickle, and some grated horseradish. I should also point out this bowl I'm using is very nice and heavy, great to grip. My mother brought this back from Vienna when she came to New York in 1939. And also a touch of pepper, if you like, and a little salt if you like. Again, season to taste. And now just mix this up. It'll take a little bit longer, but mix it up good and thorough. If you wanted to make this a little bit lighter, to be more of a kind of a dip as opposed to a spread, you could add a few tablespoons of sour cream or plain yogurt. It'll loosen it up and make it easier to dip, but I prefer the thicker spread type. After you've got this finished, it's off to the refrigerator. Better overnight, serve it the next day. It'll last for a good week in the refrigerator, but the odds are it won't be around that long. And so here we have the final product, Liptauer. After it sits overnight, all the flavors will meld. You can put it on crudités, you can have it on crackers, or good bread. A really good rye bread, or in my case, my favorite, good piece of pumpernickel bagel. We're in New York, it's got to be a bagel. You can have it in the morning with your coffee. You can have it at night with some good beer or good wine. It goes with it.